hope that today is better than yesterday. Today the sun is right there. The sun is awesome. The sun is what I need. What I need. It's almost giving me the need for speed, if you will. Anyway, so glad to be here. One more day. One more day. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens today. There's a lot of cool things happening in the backdrop here. A lot of work's being done, as one would expect from a cool community like the community where we live in. Don't want to get anybody in trouble. Don't want to get anybody in trouble by showing them on video. There's a couple of nice people just out there working from the Park West. Park West is one of the many facility systems that we have here in place in Irvine, California, Woodbridge. And I guess they're planting a whole bunch of new stuff, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. We'll only do a quick shot. I'll only do a really quick shot, because we don't want to get anybody in trouble here. And just show you guys. You don't know who they are. You can't tell who they are. Awesome people. Awesome people just working, getting things done. All right, so now let's get back to that pesky, conniving son of a gun. And we're going to do some more of the usual stuff that we do every day, which is technology. Technology education. It's all that I've been wanting to do for like forever, but I didn't know. And things evolve, right? Things evolve as you do things on your many YouTube channels. Started off with my very first YouTube channel. What was it? I can't even remember what it was. It was a long time. It's like Pilato Marco or something like that. I can't remember. I've had a lot of emails over the years. A lot of emails over the years. I've had a lot of accounts over the years. It's just a continuous thing. Anyway, it's kind of funny because, as always, they like to send you these things, and they say here, "Dear Vincenzo, as we journey through life with its many twists and turns, we want to feel secure. We especially want security for the ones we love. When you think of the people you love, the people who depend on you most, what would happen if you suddenly, if you were suddenly not there to care for them?" Nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing would change. People think that they are so indispensable and they're so important in the lives of others. It's not the case. If you disappear, someone else will pick up the slack. It's just usually how it works. So anyway. So, of course, what do you think this is for? Of course, it's for direct term life insurance. Life insurance company makes it easy to plan ahead and help create financial stability for those we leave behind. And again, if you are top dog in your family, then you have to worry about that. But if you're nobody, you don't really have to worry about that, because just figments of no value at all. Anyway, let's get into technology and stuff. I would like to think that when my time comes, I could disappear, just like in the Hollywood Disney magic movies, Kung Fu Panda. I think it was. I can't remember if it was Master. No, it wasn't Master Sifu. It was. What was the turtle's name? Who knows? Who remembers? Oogway, Master Oogway, because the word turtle in Chinese is Oogway. There we go. Hey, you learned something new if you don't know any Chinese. Okay, let's get in there. So inside the box are battery and buzzer, apparently, and the switch allows you to turn off the game when you are not using it. So what are we trying to make? We're trying to make a buzzer game. So just in case you didn't know, in the previous version of Where's the Douche, we did we did the AM radio, and before that one we did the infinity mirror. And before that one, we did, let's see, the door alarm. And before that one, I humiliated myself and did the electromagnetic crane. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Lots of humiliation. Okay, let's get into this. So today, as I said before, we're going to start making the buzzer game. Not the Squid Games. That's a different episode. Did I tell you guys that there's a really cool Netflix series that is even better than Squid Games that nobody knows about? It's called Alice in Borderland. Alice in Borderland. It's a little bit gory. It's a little bit gory, just like Squid Games. So I mean, if you like Squid Games, you'll like this one too. Not the most kid-friendly thing, but if you are of age and you like that kind of thing, you probably will enjoy this one even better. And then they have what is the other one? Like Money Heist, and then they have Money Heist. The latest one is Money Heist Korea. Extra cool. Anyway, let's make this buzzer game. Buzzer game. Do you have a steady hand? Find out by making this game. Try maneuvering the copper loop from one end of the twisting path to the other without the loop and wire touching. If they do, a buzzer will sound and an LED will light up to let you know that you lost the game. Challenge your friends and see who can get the farthest. So this ought to be good, right? This ought to be good. The buzzer game. They made a bunch of these. I don't know. I don't want to spoil the ending to this thing. What the heck? I don't want to spoil the ending to this thing. No. That's not it. That's not it. Okay, I'm not going to spoil the ending of this. But if you guys have ever played the doctor game, it's a long time ago. You've seen that game in Friends, the TV series. They play it's Doctor or something, or I'm not sure exactly what the name of the game is. But anyway, you've got this system where you have a picture of a man, and you got to play doctor, remove bits and pieces, and you got to remove the bits and pieces, whether they're bones or whatever, without touching the sides of the thing and setting off the buzzer. So anyway, this is kind of like that, but a little wilder. So anyway, how to make a buzzer game. Before you start this project, you'll need to prepare the sides of the box. Ask an adult to help you cut out 5 squares from plastic or wood. Most buzzers will work at a range of voltages from 3 volts to 20 volts. This circuit uses 9-volt battery. Okay, so you're going to need a 9-volt battery. I'm going to show you the thing that we usually do here, as you can see there. And it tells you that this is going to take about 60 minutes. This project, just double it, about 2 hours to get this done, most likely. Be aware, requires drill, hot glue gun, and soldering iron. So try not to get burned or cut, or drill through your hand or something. Don't do it. Difficulty is hard on this one. It'll tell you that it is hard on this one. So what you need for this project, from the toolbox, you're going to need a drill, scrap wood, and clamps. You're going to need a 1/8 inch, which is the equivalent of 3 millimeter drill bit, a 5/16 inches or 8 millimeter drill bits, and you're going to need sandpaper, hot glue gun, wire strippers, soldering iron, and a solder, wire cutters, pliers, electrical tape. On top of that, what you're going to need is a 9-volt battery to power the whole system. You're going to need an SPST switch. You're going to need a 330 ohms resistor. You're going to need battery snap connector. Oh, snap. You're going to need a thick, unlacquered copper wire, 3 feet 9 inches, which is about 1.15 meters. Yeah. You're going to need 1 buzzer. It doesn't have to be a piezo buzzer, but you can have a piezo buzzer. If you have one of those, what do you call those? Adafruit kits. It comes with a the yellow Adafruit kit. Was that the second one they made? Anyway, it comes with a piezo buzzer in there. That might still work anyway. You need a You need 5 of these 10 by 10 centimeter panels. You need red stranded wire, 2 3/8 inches, which is 6 centimeters. You need black stranded wire, which is 19 3/4 inches, which is 50 centimeters. You're gonna need all of this stuff. I'm gonna show it to you. There you go. Easiest way to follow along, of course, is to get yourself the book. Pretty sure that it's easy to get to. And again, you might already have all of this fun stuff in your little tech lab. So you might not need to, get much of this stuff. You might already have it. But it's easier to have the book so you can follow along. So anyway, using the 1/8 inches 3 millimeter drill bit, make a hole for the LED legs, and in the center of one of the box sides, drill 2 more holes big enough to fit the copper wire. Each of those will be 3/8 inches, which is 1 centimeter, from the LED hole. A lot of these measurements that you'll see, just take my word for it, it's going to be easier for you to go with the centimeters system, with the metric system, instead of like the feet and the inches and stuff. Why? Because the inches and stuff are going to have lots of fractions in there. So if you're not a big fan of math, you go with centimeters, you're going to be, a much happier camper, if you will. Anywho, on another box side, use the 1/8 inches or 3 millimeter drill bit to make a hole in the corner. In a different corner, use the 5/16 inches 8 millimeters drill bit to create a rectangular slot large enough for the switch to sit in, and then use sandpaper to smooth the slot. Use a hot glue gun to join 4 panels together along the sides as shown below. The sides with the 3 holes will be the top of your box. Now I'm going to show you guys this real quick. And then it also tells you, just in case you forgot how to use a glue gun, if you go to page 22, it'll refresh you on how to use a glue gun. But it's kind of hard to visualize everything that I said, so I'm going to show you the pictures of what they want you to do. And what you're making is a nice cube. It's a nice cube, not an ice cube, a nice cube, in which case you guys have seen a lot of cool things. Like you can put a lot of fun things in cubes, such as 3D printing. You can use 3D printing to put like Raspberry Pis inside cubes and stuff, and I did that a couple times, and it was really fun stuff. Made a lot of 3D printing projects with 3D printed cubes, in which you could stick in a bunch of cool things. I think I may have seen a comment on there, I don't know. Sometimes things pop up, but they don't really stay there long enough for me to be able to see what's going on. Anyway, to whoever showed up, thanks for showing up, and hello, top of the morning to you. Distractions all the time. Anyway, slot the SPST switch and the LED into their holes once through. Widen the legs of the LED against the inside of the box to secure it in place. Fun thing to do. So it says cut and strip a piece of red stranded wire approximately 2 3/8 inches, which is 6 centimeters. You see what I'm talking about? It's just, you've got a bunch of whole numbers in the other metric system, but if you go with feet and whatever, it's all these fractions of death. Next, strip the battery snap connector wires. Tip the box on its side so you can see it into it. Glue the buzzer near the bottom of one side, near enough to connect it to the switch. Then you're going to strip the end of the buzzer wire, which is the red one. Twist the red battery snap connector wire around one terminal and red buzzer wire around the other terminal, and then solder both of those in place. It says it doesn't matter which wire you solder to which terminal. So they're making these projects rather simplified, so you don't have to figure out exactly what is going to what. Usually when you're building a bunch of projects in the real world, you really want to make sure that you know what is negative and positive input and stuff. But in this case, it doesn't seem to matter which way you start this off, because they're probably just making it a little bit more kid friendly. Anyway, Solder one end of the red stranded wire from step 5 onto the same switch terminal as the red buzzer wire. Then it says solder the other end of the stranded wire to the shorter negative leg of the LED. Okay, I'm going to show you the pictures here, just in case that was a little rough to see. So we're going to go 4, we're going to go 5, we're going to go 6. I can't see what I'm showing you. I'm going to go 7, I'm going to go 8, and then we're going to go 9. And notice that Tim, our favorite chef at Apple, has done a lot of work. I mean, not necessarily him directly, but he's got his people working on the autofocus, and the autofocus has gotten so much better since the beginning when I started ranting the heck about it so much. Thank you for fixing that. All right, so solder one end of the resistor. It doesn't matter which end onto the longer leg of the LED. Make sure the two legs of the LED are not touching. Okay, so good. So you're going to have two legs, one on which the red wire is going to stick on, the other one on which the resistor is going to go on. It seems to want you to put the resistor on the longer leg of the two. Then it wants you to do strip about 1/3 inches, which is, you're going to have fractions in both of these, which is 3.5 centimeters. But again, you're only talking about half and a half. Half and a half is easy. 3/8 and a bunch of the other ones, like whatever, 1/16 is a different thing. You know what I'm saying? So from the black buzzer wire, this wire will wrap around a resistor in one end of the copper wire. All right, so then twist the other end of the resistor firmly around the black buzzer. Leave about 3/4 inches, which is 2 centimeters of stripped wire left over. Says you can solder the resistor to the black buzzer wire for extra stability if you wish. Interesting. Make sure you place the battery where the snap connector wires can easily reach it. Then it says, okay, part 13 here is attach the battery to the snap connector, glue the LED and switch securely into their slots, and glue the battery anywhere inside the box. Oh, the clouds. The clouds are getting to me. Early this morning, it was so cold that I could see my breath. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. Well, a lot of activity going on here. Cut about 3/1/4 feet, or 3 1/4 feet, which is equal to 1 meter. So just do a meter. Save yourself the trouble of doing the fractions. Of the thick copper wire, use the pliers to twist the wire into whatever shape you like. Make sure you keep the last 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters of each end of the wire straight. The more twists, turns, and loops you add, the more challenging the game will be. So I'm going to show you what this is all about in case it was not understandable. We got 10, we got 11, where's 12? We got 12, we got 13. I can't see anything to show you guys. It's easier than you think. It's easier than you think when you're a genius. When you're me, it's just hard. It's just hard. Okay. We are now at part 15 of this amazing thing that we're making. So it says, insert the two ends of the copper wire into the holes on the top of the box and glue them into place. Make sure there is 3/8 of an inch. So about 3/8 of an inch, 1 centimeter of each end sticking into the box. Okay, so if you don't have that much, you probably will not have enough space and material to work with, because there's going to be some wrapping around or soldering to be done. So twist the end of the buzzer black wire firmly around one of the ends of the copper wire inside the box. And then it says to cut a piece of black stranded wire about 19 3/4 inches, or 3/4 inches, which is 50 centimeters long, and strip about 3/8 inches, which is 1 centimeter off one end, and about 1/3 inches, which is 3.5 centimeters off the other side. It says the wire should be long enough to reach from the bottom of the box over the copper wire shape. Okay, so I'm going to show you the picture of that because that's probably not going to be that easy to just visualize like that. Thread the shorter stripped end of the black wire through the remaining hole in the side of the box and twist it around the black battery wire. And it says, cut another piece of the copper wire about 6 inches, 15 centimeters long. Use the pliers to bend the end into a loop. The tighter the loop, the more difficult the game will be. And the last part here, which is part 20, is twist the stripped end of the long black wire around the straight end of the copper loop and secure the wire connection by wrapping electrical tape around it. Let's do that. Let's do that. There you go. And 17, 18, 19, and 20. And let's get on with the last part here. Let's do it. Let's do it. So make sure no glue gets on the circuit inside. Use hot glue to attach the final panel to the side of the box. The bottom of the box should be left open. Why? Because there's still another step. If you leave it closed, you won't be able to finish the next step. So turn the switch on to start playing. So your buzzer game is finished. Slide the loop onto the copper wire to play. See if you can get the wire loop from one end of the copper wire to the other. If the loop touches the wire, the buzzer will sound and the LED will light up, and you will have failed the game. Don't fail the game. Be careful. So anyway, how it works. So if you keep the copper loop away from the copper wire, the circuit is incomplete. No current will flow. The buzzer will not make a sound and the LED will not light up. This means you are winning, or you've just turned off the machine and you're cheating. Either way, that's how it works. That's how it works. So it says, when the loop touches the wire, you are completing the circuit. When the circuit is complete, current flows through the resistor and the LED lighting the LED lighting the LED. What? I'm struggling with this. When the circuit is incomplete, current flows through the resistor and the LED, lighting the LED. I don't know. I still think that's weird. Anyway, I'm going to show you what they wrote, but that doesn't really compute. I guess it computes, but the Englishing is a little off there. Some current also flows through the buzzer, making a buzz loudly, letting you know you have failed. Okay, so there are real-world inventions that use this. As I said before, there's that game from Friends that you guys may have seen. It was a long time ago. One of my friends had that game, and from time to time we would play it together, which is pretty cool. And I was like, I don't know, somewhere in the range of 4 and I want to say 7 or 8, somewhere in the range there. Anyway, so real-world inventions, bumper cars. So inside a bumper car is an electric motor that powers the wheels and electric lights for headlamps. The floor and the ceiling of the ride are connected to electrical power supply. A metal pole touches the ceiling and metal contact beneath the car touches the floor. Electric current flows through the motor and the lights as long as you have the foot pedal pressed down. So what that means is this is a real-world invention which has some similarity to this game, but not that much. But what they're trying to say is that when you press on the gas pedal, it completes the circle, which powers the machine, and the machine goes forward or back depending on which stick you've attached. I'm not sure if I don't remember now. Like, I'm sure that bumper cars are more complex than in the past, but I'm guessing you have forward and reverse. I'm guessing, but maybe in the past they only had like forward. So all you had to do is press on the gas and it would go forward. And the turning radius on those machines is really good. So maybe even if you don't have reverse, you can still play the game. Although people do get stuck a lot, which is why you have people on the side to assist with these things in case people get stuck on the side, which is hilarious too. Anyway, I'm going to show you the last part of the picture here, which is pretty cool. There you go. Am I showing you the correct part? I'm showing you the correct part here. The last part's here. And then the real world inventions and the confusing bit that I tried to read. And I do believe it may require some Englishing. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. I just find it really hard to read one of those bits. Anyway, that is really cool. That is really cool. Bit of technology there. So yeah. So if at some point I decide to bite the dust, it'd be really nice to be Master Oogway in a beautiful spot in the moonlight, and then disappear in a flash of sparkles like he did with what was he? He was under one of those beautiful cherry blossoms or something. That's cool. That's cool. And then people will gather together and have a really fun party. I would hope with champagne and lots of fun people of all kinds showing up. Girls, boys, non-binary, and everybody having a nice party together. Conservatives, liberals, and everybody in between, all showing up to enjoy the glorious moment of that pesky marker abuse disappearing from planet Earth. Oh, the party. And the laughs, too. Anyway, let's go. So, in the last episode of Where's the Douche, we had a pick. So, practicing forms with Iron Ring in Shaolin Wing Chun. So, guys, if you don't know about this cool book right here, it is The Secret Origin of Wing Chun. 2,200 years of training, history, philosophy, and development of ancient Chinese MMA. It is based off of Omei Wing Chun. Again, I don't know how to say that properly, but yeah, you can always correct me. Make a video on your own channel of whatever. It doesn't even have to be YouTube, and then post a link to how you say it correctly underneath this video. Be ballsy, be nice, be helpful. Enter, be part of this community. Oh, gosh darn it. Anyway, so this I was talking about is Omei Wing Chun, which is the lineage of Yin Kai-san and Sun Nung. And the author of this book is Grandmaster Tom Wong. And I always have to make sure that I don't say it wrong, which is why I go back to the back of the book here, which is really useful, and it helps remind me. Don't worry, it's not that funny, ridiculous goon, that Goomba that you see on YouTube all the time, with a shaved head, English accent, and that swears so much that sailors feel like, oh my gosh, I'm just not adequate anymore. Anyway, it's not that guy. The real YouTube channel, and Tom Wong does have a YouTube channel, will have images such as these on it. And that is the real thing. So if you don't know about that YouTube channel, go check it out. It's also on the wall behind every time I do one of my unboxing videos or live stream videos on Real Flight Evolution. You will find him there on that glorious wall. Anyway, differences between rattan ring practice. So we're going to talk about that today, as well as a bunch of other things. I think I probably already read some of this yesterday. And did we say... Oh, no. When we were going to talk about Omei Wing Chun's sticky hands today. Make sure you wash your hands so they don't get all sticky. But that has nothing to do. With this. So Omei Wing Chun sticky hands. Oh, by the way, I wonder how many people... Let's put it in the comments how many people went off and had a good time and grabbed themselves some cans of, I'm not sure what. whatever cans you use. It could have been baked beans. It could have been non-baked beans, just beans themselves. It could have been, I don't know. What else do you have? Corn bits, whatever you want. But did you try the Tai Chi thing to see if you understood the real meaning of move like water? Anyway, I'm sure nobody did it. They just laughed me out of the room, but they don't really understand that there is a purpose to the madness. There is purpose to the madness. And you only will get it. You will only be able to get it if you master the 24 form, or you do practice maybe a couple of moves that you have mastered from the 24 form, and then you hold those in your hands. Don't squeeze them hard. It's not about tensing. You hold the thing. You hold the thing with just enough pressure so that it doesn't fall out of your hand. That's the idea. If you leave, if there's not enough pressure to hold it in your hand, it'll drop out. You don't want that. You got to hold it as if it is almost light and you're just going to come out. You don't squeeze it. I'm worried about losing this thing. Don't do that. That's not going to work for you. That's not the purpose of the form. This is not hard style martial arts where you're trying to break things. You're trying to feel chi. This is why people can't fight by using chi in the modern era. They don't understand how it works. You have to be relaxed, but relaxed doesn't mean devoid of tension. There is a limited amount of tension, and most of the tension goes somewhere around here in the wrists, just like Spider-Man. Just like Spider-Man when he releases his web. Anyway, Rasengan from what is that other show? Naruto. The purpose, the same power, the same thing that you're trying to create. The cosmos, if you're into Saint Seiya. The Knights of the Zodiac. I Cavalieri dello Zodiaco. Anyway, Le Chevalier du Zodiac. Anyway, you hold the thing. You relax the hand. You just have enough tension to keep that thing from falling out of your hand, and then you practice the move. It'll do magic for you. It'll be better than Hollywood Disney magic. I guarantee it. You won't try it. Anyway, so to see is to be deceived. To hear is to be lied to. Feeling is believing. This is perhaps the best way to describe Ome Wing Chung's sticky hands during sticky hands training practice. Practitioners must continuously feel out their opponent attack plan, strength, speed, timing, and pattern, like snakes do with their tongues, but also with their bodies as they wrap around your arm and stuff, around your neck. Hopefully not, because you might not make it alive. Anyway, practitioners must also quickly switch from striking to grappling and vice versa. This type of sticky hands training is a good example of the Tao. If you guys didn't know, there was an episode, and be careful. If you love snakes, if you're in love with snakes, snakes are beautiful creatures. They are. But at the same time, snakes are not in love with their owners. They do not feel love for their owners. Be careful. It is like that famous story about the scorpion that gets a nice ride. Then it needs a ride from one side of the lake to the other side of the lake, or from one side of the stream to the other side of the stream. And the I don't know if it was a turtle, it was some other animal decided to say, okay, I'm gonna bail you out, my friend, Mr. Scorpion or Mrs. Scorpion, whatever, Scorpionette. I'm gonna help you across this body of water. So then they help them across the body of water, and the scorpion stings them and then possibly eats them in the end. So the purpose of what I'm trying to say is that snakes may be your friends, but they're not your lovers, and they're not your kin, and they're not the kind of pet that you want to sleep on you. There was a funny story of, well, not so funny. Well, it's funny because the nice lady did not end up dying, but she was worried about her snake not eating the snake stopped eating for a little while, and she kept the snake on top of her for a long time. She was thinking, oh, this snake loves me so much, and it's just sleeping on top of me and stuff. But the snake was starving itself, thinking about when the right moment would be that they would have enough space in its stomach to eat her, swallow her whole, if you will. So don't do that. Snakes are not your lovers. They're not your friends, and you know, don't get too close to them. They're not like dogs. They're not like dogs. Anyway, so when you spar at the open range, you need good hand-eye and leg-eye coordination to consistently land kicks and punches on your opponent. However, having good hand-eye and leg-eye coordination is usually insufficient for close-quarter counter-striking, okay? Instead, counter-striking requires rapid eye processing speed as well. When an opponent throws a kick or a punch at you, your brain has to process the information, decide which counter to use, and execute a counter-strike. This three-step process takes more time than just selecting a target and attacking. As a result, people frequently say that the best defense is offense, right? If you are doing all of this processing in your brain and your opponent is only just jabbing at you or coming at you with a weapon, if you don't have some kind of buffer between them attacking and you, which is why a lot of people tend to like to fight at a distance and not get engaged in close combat, you are at somewhat of a disadvantage compared to the attacker, compared to, you know, as a defender, let's say. So when two people of equal strength attack each other simultaneously in a head-on confrontation, the odds of victory for either person is 50-50. However, if the two people's strength, speed, reflexes, size, and confidence are not equal, the stronger, faster, quicker reflexes, bigger and more confident person usually wins. Every attribute can change the outcome of a fight. Yeah, there's so many variables that go into fighting. So Omi Wing Chun transforms the odds of winning by using different ways to speed up the counter striking. So the idea is to try to set the goals and the situation so that you have more things of value in your court as opposed to your opponent. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. All right, so process to get ahead of an attacker. One approach is to shorten the time and distance needed to execute a counter strike by using shorter punches such as the 1-inch punches. Another approach is to use sticky hands to feel the opponent's energy and intention before executing a counter strike. So no matter who you are, whether you are big or small or whatever, before you're able to attack someone, there's going to be motion that happens within your body. And so if you are constantly holding on to, or at least touching one of the limbs, at least one of the limbs of your opponent at any given time, you will be able to feel that motion more quickly than you will be able to see that motion. So how do you explain this? So let's say that I'm right in front of you and I shake an object in front of you. I shake this object in front of you, and you're trying to keep up with the shaking of this object in front of me. Imagine that instead of me just shaking the object in front of you, you've actually got one of your arms on, let's say, on my elbow. So while I'm doing this, you are actually feeling that there is a certain amount of vibration. So you know that it's coming. So even though my arm is doing this and it's really hard to follow, because you have contact with my elbow, you are feeling it before you're seeing it, and you're able to somehow, if you wanted to, if that ball is getting too much in your face, you could move my elbow more quickly than you would be able to follow that that ball that's getting in your face and shift my elbow so that my ball doesn't reach you. So it's going to be faster to do it that way than to try to get that ball and stop that ball from getting in my face. If you're at my elbow, you can just shift the elbow so that the ball, if it's coming towards me, doesn't hit my face, right? So anyway, this approach shortens the time needed to execute a counterstrike because you do not have to use your eyes and brain to analyze what is happening before reacting to your opponent's attack. Instead, those steps can be skipped. It is similar to how you immediately drop a piece of hot iron after picking it up. I guess that works too. You pick up a piece of iron and then there's a little delay between you not knowing that it's hot and you knowing that it's hot. And then you feel, but that's not really the same. That's not really the same because, to be honest with that, the delay is probably a little bit, I don't know if the delay is a little bit longer or shorter than that. I don't know. Maybe it's the same. Maybe it's the same. Your body instantaneously and automatically reacts if your brain has not yet decided on a course of action. So yeah, a lot of this stuff can be done without too much thinking because you see an object coming towards your face. Your instinct is to either try to chase the object or to block the object. But in this case, if you're training yourself to do this, you can just shift the elbow of the opponent and avoid being hit. So Sumnung explains how to use sticky hands to neutralize opponents with stronger and longer arms during private lessons with the author. So anyway, I'm going to show you this cool picture here because it's worth taking a look at. And they are now practicing sticky hands. And you'll notice that the position of the sticky hands is a little different than what you use and see in traditional Yip Man Wing Chun. Here's another fun picture, which is Sumnung explains how to use sticky hands to neutralize opponents with longer arms during private lessons with the author. Here we go. The author being Grandmaster Tom Wong. Anyway, so sticky hands is like Tai Chi's pushing hand and uses our hands to feel and read our opponent's intention and his openings. One either reacts to an opponent's action or draws a response by guiding an opponent to create openings through visible or invisible energy. Sticky hands demonstrates the Taoist principle of yin and yang, where infinite change causes constant three-dimensional evolution. There are no names for these non-stop new techniques or scenarios. Rather, the concept is merely known as sticky hands. Nevertheless, even though Omi Wing Chun sticky hands follow the Taoist principle of yin and yang, like Tai Chi, Omi Wing Chun has a unique focus on straight line theory. So that's a lot to process right there. Okay, so it emphasizes the connection between punching, kicking, grappling, and anti-grappling. Additionally, in Omi Wing Chun system, the force of a strike can actually travel through or towards a different direction than how it appears visually. Not only that, even using the same technique with different amounts of strengths can create results that are different as night and day. As a result, sticky hands can only be taught with an actual teacher present and not just through visualizations and watching videos. Yes, that's a big thing here. It is also why sticky hands cannot be taught to a large class at the same time. Instead, students must individually learn and feel how the energy flows. Simply copying and pasting the fundamental forms is not enough. In other words, even though learning fundamental forms is necessary to prepare for sticky hands, knowing the forms is nowhere near sufficient to master sticky hands. If someone says that he can mimic or understand Omi's sticky hands by watching it, he actually does not understand it. Very true. A common way to utilize sticky hands is to begin from the 12 ways of initial attack, and then use the lead hand like the head of a snake, getting close to its prey in the following sticky hand attack. Sticky hands is very practical skill, but and also because it helps a fighter penetrate an opponent's tight defense and decide whether to follow up with strike or grappling after discovering or creating an opening. It is like the dribbling of a basketball before slam dunk, or dribbling across a soccer field before taking the shot. All right, so there's a whole bunch more in Shaolin Wing Chun that we will continue on with tomorrow. But one important thing I think that must be said before I put this book down is that sticky hands cannot be taught. It just cannot be taught over YouTube or Zoom or whatever. And I noticed it firsthand because I did a lot of training with Charles the Great. Charles the Great is on here, on this YouTube channel here. However, nobody's seen his videos for some reason, except one. There's a Drypex video. If you type in Mark Reviews Drypex, that'll be the only video that you know about Charles the Great, which will be pretty sad because he's done all kinds of cool things on this channel. He's broken coconuts. I think he's broken a wooden plank from Home Depot with a 1-inch punch, and it was hanging off of a wire. I don't know many people that can do that. Actually, in fact, he and Master Tom Wong are probably the only people that I know of capable of doing something like that. Anywho, that kind of explains the power of a real 1-inch punch, not that fakery that you see. The power of a real 1-inch punch allows you to break a Home Depot piece of wood, not those funny things that you get in like Taekwondo gyms and karate gyms here in the United States that are like, it's created for the satisfaction of the kids, and you want that satisfaction for the kids because you want to bring the new generations into martial arts and get them into the idea of becoming martial artists and all that good stuff. But that stuff's a joke. It's not the real thing. So anyway, what I like to tell people is, if you are in the Japanese, like in Asian martial arts gyms, by the time you get to black belts, you're probably pretty good and you have reached a pretty good level of mastery of the martial arts. But here in the United States, you're probably pretty good at whatever you are. If you've gotten like, to this, 7th or 8th degree black belt, then you're probably pretty good. But before then, you're just, still making your way. And the goal, my goal is black belt, right? What's your goal? My goal is black belt. Is the goal so that you can have a certain amount of mastery, but that is not the end of your journey. That is really the beginning of your journey when you finally got enough skill to go to the next level. That's the point that I want to drill down. But anyway, with sticky hands, the thing is, you've got to practice with a real partner and feel through their body and feel from their body to your body when they move, when they are creating those impulses through their system, right? There's that whole thing about synapses and electric pulses and everything, and how you give your brain a stimuli, or the brain itself sends a signal from there to another part, to the eventually to the arm or the leg or whatever, and then you move, right? There's a whole hierarchy there when the signal is sent and stuff like that. And by being connected to your opponent and stuff, you're able to reach the conclusion of what they're going to do faster than you can by just looking at them, right? When you're boxing, or when you are doing kickboxing stuff, you're at a distance, right? So you have to rely heavily and continuously on your eyes, your vision, your memorized understanding of range, your understanding of you know, if you're an experienced boxer, you'll be able to tell based on the person's height, the length of their arms or whatever, how far you need to be from them before they can actually strike you. And can you get in and out and attack them before they can strike you? Or can you get in and out while blocking and get close enough so that you can strike them? Either way, when you get really close and you're in close quarters, then you are stuck together and you're doing sticky hands, so you are contact on contact, then that whole system starts failing. And if you're just judging everything by your eyes, you may not be able to respond fast enough and block something. So you've got to stick to the person's forearms or, you know, elbows or whatever. If they have very, very long arms, you may not be able to stick to the part that you want to, because if you say, okay, well, they're super, you know, they're this big giant, right? You're messing around and sticking to their forearm over here. Well, if you're doing that, then can your arm reach their body? Can your arm reach their head? Probably not, right? So you have to figure out ways in which you can still do sticky hands and figure out how you can do it so that you can still be effective in combat. Anyway, don't take my words for it. If you want to learn how to do proper Wing Chun, I recommend you guys go to Monterey Park. I think Master Tom Wong has his own website, has his own YouTube channel, maybe on Yelp. I think I did a Yelp review for him. And you may be working with him, or you may be working with Rodney, depending on which place you're able to go to or whatever. Or some other students. There may be some other teachers right now that are qualified and have been certified by Grandmaster Tom Wong to teach this version of, which is Aomei Wing Chun, which comes from the lineage of Yin Kai Sun and Sum Nung, and obviously now the person who inherited is Grandmaster Tom Wong himself. So anyway, if you want this book, you can also find it on Amazon. And with that, guys, I will see you in the next one. Take care, and thank you so much for joining me on this little adventure. And yeah, have a great day. It's sunny. It's so great. It's so great. I have so much more strength today thanks to the sun, the power of the sun. You wouldn't believe how much power the sun can give you. Some people. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you. Take care, guys.